Hey guys, in today's video I'm going to show you how I created this eyeshadow look using the Ciate London, the editor palette that I got in my Boxycharm for the month of October. It's this beautiful palette, has a very nice range of colors. I was really in the mood for green today, and first thing I'm going to do is prime my lids using the e.l.f. Putty Eye Primer in the shade White. Okay guys, so the first thing I'm going to do is use this crease brush from Morphe and dip into that brown shade right there. There are no shade names in the palette, but you can see the color that I picked out. Then I'm going to apply that all over my crease. I was very impressed with this shade because it was very buttery, very smooth. The application was nice and smooth, but it also blended out nicely. So I was very impressed with it because there was enough pigment, but the shadow was nice and blendable. Then I'm going to use this blending brush from Morphe, and I'm going to use that cream color at the top, and I'm going to use this as a blending shade. And this, honestly, this shade blended into my skin perfectly, so it's really nice for blending browns because it almost acted like if it was a face powder. That's how well it blended into my skin, but I really liked it. Then taking this angled brush from Luxie, I'm going to dip into that really dark brown shade at the bottom. And I'm going to use this for my outer corner. I'm going to stamp the color and blend it upwards and into my crease. Then I'm going to take another crease brush from Morphe and I'm going to dip into that dark brown shade again. And I'm just going to intensify that shade right there because the last brush that I used really blended the shadow. And I just want it to be more intense and dark and noticeable. Then I'm going to take the blending brush and go into that cream shade again and blend out all the edges. As you can see, this color is definitely great for blending out any harsh lines, and it just blends nicely into my skin, which I appreciate. Then I'm going to take this small lid brush and some concealer. I'm using the Rare Beauty concealer in the shade 270N, and I am going to apply a little bit of concealer to my lid. Then I'm going to look up, and wherever that concealer lands, that's where I'll be cutting my crease. And today I went for a half cut crease because I really wanted a nice transition between the browns and the greens. So I'm just taking my time cutting that crease, adding more concealer to the parts that I want the green to really pop. So I'm going to dip into that beautiful forest green color that I've been dreaming about since I got this palette. And I'm going to use my finger to apply this to my lid. And then I'll be using a very small brush later just to perfect the application. But first I like to go in with my finger. I really been dreaming about using this color. That is what attracted me about the palette the most when I first got it. So like I said, I'm going to take a very small brush just to perfect the application of that shimmer. I'm just going to apply color to the areas that are missing it, that I still can see the concealer, and just make it nice and perfect. Then taking a crease brush, I'm going to go into the brown shade and I'm going to reapply that to my crease just to make sure that I don't lose that color that I initially had there and to make sure that I keep the contrast between the crease and the lid. Then I'm going to dip into the darkest brown shade using the crease brush and I'm going to apply that to the outer part of my eye and blend it into my lid. This is my favorite thing to do because it makes the look seem more natural, almost like you didn't put a lot of effort into it, but you know you did because you cut your crease, you use concealer and everything. But this really pulls the look together because there are no harsh lines when you do this, and that is really what you want, to not have harsh lines. Your crease is cut, you use concealer, but it's nicer when everything just looks nice and seamless. Then I dipped into that dark blue shimmer, which has some hints of green in it too, honestly. And I decided to apply this to my lower lash line because I didn't want to just use brown. I wanted to kind of have some kind of contrast between the green lid and something going on in the lower lash line. And this shimmer also has kind of some hints of green in it. And I ended up really liking it, but at first I wasn't too sure because it is a shimmer, so it wasn't showing up too well. But I went ahead and packed it on slowly, and then eventually I decided to add some of the green shimmer on top too, just to make it a little bit more shimmery. Then for my inner corner, I chose that yellow gold shimmer. It's just so beautiful. I was trying to use a small brush and it really was not working for me at all. I honestly tried for a while to apply with different small brushes and nothing was showing up. So I ended up going in with my finger. And I do that sometimes, but I don't always like to use my finger because sometimes the application to the inner corner is not as perfect, but it worked out this time. I applied with my finger and then I kind of blended it out a little bit using the brush. Okay guys, so this is the final look. I cleaned up the fallout from the shadows. I really like how it turned out. I was really impressed with some of the shadows. The shimmers, sometimes they were a little bit stressful. I honestly actually expected more pigment from the green shimmer, but this kind of made me want to go out and buy a lot of green eyeshadows. I'm not used to wearing green. I always stay away from green, but for some reason I just really love how it turned out. I wore a green shirt too, just to kind of be in the mood for green, and now all I want to do is go buy green eyeshadow. But anyway, I hope you guys liked this video. I had a lot of fun making this eyeshadow look. If you liked it, please go ahead and give it a big thumbs up for me so I know to make more videos like this. Don't forget to subscribe before you go. Follow me on Instagram at Nori Loves Beauty, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye guys.